that's it.
Enjoyed it.
And there you go. I'm actually anxious to
Another
get into
Marvel
issue
Star Wars
28
done.
now.
Oh, we literally have done. Well, we didn't do the first 6 issues. We
Yeah,
did
so
have
we've
talked
done
about going
roughly
back and
20
doing
20
the
issues.
adaptation. But so we've done 21 issues.
Yeah, and we need to do the first 6. Well, we've also done some Wookiee Kashyyyk stuff, so Kashyyyk.
Oh yeah, we did comic strips. We're getting. I'll have to look and see where it times out, but we're getting around the area of when the first annual would have actually been published. We
Oh
might be
yeah.
there. I don't know if it was in the 20s or the 30s, but there
I'm
was
gonna
an
have to
annual
track
that
that
came out
down.
around
That's a
this
good
time.
point. I didn't think about the
It was
annuals.
written by Chris Claremont.
Oh,
That one's a fun one.
well, now you've got me. I got something to look for. I got some homework
Yeah,
because I
we could
don't
pretty
think I
much
have that.
do that at any time. Although we could finish up this particular storyline, I guess.
Well, this
Doesn't
storyline
much
looks
matter.
finished up.
Well, they got to get past the blockade,
Well, yeah, I mean,
and they
that's
we
an arc. I don't
Baron.
consider that a storyline. That's more like an arc.
Well, I mean,
Well, pitter patter. Let's get at
potato
her.
patata. That's what that sounds like.
So, write us comments. Let us know what you think. Give us some
Yeah,
suggestions.
we got and we got another Star Wars out as we mentioned, so
Mm-hmm.
that's out there. We'll try to get some more of these out. These are fun. I do enjoy them. We have been working on our other podcasts. Like we just launched the Watch Along Gang. We
Yeah.
should post a link to that so you can check that out while we do watch alongs to things. Nothing Star Wars related yet on that
Yeah.
channel.
That's true. There's so much to watch. Give us suggestions on that if you have something that you think would be fun for us to listen to and watch.
Yeah, do
And
the they would do the holiday special
if
just to
there's
make
any other
everyone
like
unhappy.
Star Warsy comics that you'd like us to take a look at, let us know. I'm
I'll
always
tell you
looking
what
for
we
new
should
things.
do for a watch along for real is one of the Ewok movies. Those would be kind of fun.
We could do that. I have very, very little memory of them since watching them as a kid.
I've seen them as an adult. I haven't seen them in many years, even though I have them. Like I had the DVDs, and now they're on Disney Plus too. I haven't seen them in recent years, but they are kind of fun because you got like at least on the first one. I don't think it does it on the second one, but they have Burl Ives narrating the first one. Like this is
I
weird, but it's
remember
just
I just
pleasant.
remember scenes. Like I remember one scene where the guy's like got a chest in his bedroom or something and he lifts it up and there's like a blaster in there under some blankets or something. Or that could be a Little House on the Prairie. I don't know. I might not be
Either way, there
remembering
was
that, but
lasers.
yeah, it was definitely a blaster.
Yeah, it was definitely a ray gun. So if they had those, well, in the first movie, it was two kids trying to rescue their parents. So they do have like I always thought it was fun because
On
they're just
Endor?
like pioneers. Yeah, they like I think they crash land there,
Okay.
and then the parents get taken away by like a giant gorilla
Hmm,
monster,
why not?
and so they have like a blaster that looks just like a cool kind of prop because it's like wrapped in a rag and stuff because they're just like pioneers or something. So they end up teaming up with the Ewoks to form a caravan of courage.
And this is live action, so that's weird, isn't it?
It was very weird. It was live action and it was made for television. So that was a big deal for TV.
It's just weird that it does. It's just, I guess it hasn't been pushed by the Lucasfilm very hard because it's not something that you ever hear about.
Well, I don't know if they don't like them in retrospect or if they just realized they weren't that popular. Because for a while they were pushing Ewoks because they thought that would sell to kids. So they had the
Mm-hmm.
Ewok cartoons and toys, and they had a couple of the TV movies.
Had an Ewok
People
comic.
were like, "We're totally sick of Ewoks." People were
They did, didn't they? They had an
collectively like,
Ewoks comic and a Droids
based,
comic.
yeah, both based on the cartoons.
Huh, we could
And
read those one day.
yeah, I think I have Droids #1, but I definitely have the omnibus edition that Dark Horse did that printed out possibly every issue of both of those series in one combined omnibus. So that's pretty fun. Those are fun because they're silly. So it would be kind of fun to do those because they were made for kids. And there weren't that many. I want to say there was like 20 issues of Droids or something like
I'm
that.
surprised it lasted that long, actually, because that poor Star Wars ran out of readers not long after Jedi. So,
Well, there was hope because they started launching new stuff, and people thought maybe there would be a new Star Wars that they could get behind. So I remember being excited as a kid when the Droids cartoon came out, and I didn't really watch the Ewoks cartoon, but I loved the Droids cartoon. And then I think they thought that they were going to just kind of tread water with kids based properties like that until they could figure out what they were going to do, and those kids based properties didn't take off, and they just kind of left it. They're like,
I
let's
think
just move on to other things for a while.
I think my personal experience may be really weirdly indicative of what happened to Star Wars. I'm sure everyone thinks that, but like my exact age, at that time, I was like, as a little kid, kindergarten and up, I was like, Star Wars was everything to me. I had all the books and all the toys, tons of toys. It's all I did. And then about the time that Empire came out was like probably my peak. I was like in third grade, I think. Freaking loved it. But not long after that, like right after that, I really got into Transformers and Masters of the Universe, and then my ultimate GI Joe, which took me until I was like a little older, 10 or
That's what
11 or
we were
something.
into.
Yeah, so like I was much more into. I stopped being into Star Wars as much. I still liked it, but I was really in terms of buying toys and comics and watching cartoons. It was all about Transformers and GI Joe for me,
I think
and
the
then
marketing
Mask and
miscalculation
all that
there,
stuff too.
they didn't they didn't try to, and to be fair, George Lucas never has, but they didn't try to grow Star Wars with that an original viewing audience. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we were the kids who grew up with Star Wars, and by the time, we're talking about 84 to 85 was when they were pushing like Droids and Ewoks. So we were on the very cusp. It's like, I can watch Droids because that seems a little bit less like a kid's show to me, but I'm not interested in Ewoks at all. Even though I liked the Ewok movies because they were live action movies, I wasn't interested in Ewoks, which was like sort of Gummy Bears level kind of kids
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah. I
So
think
we
we
didn't
kind of
have
outgrew
any
it right at
interest.
the time that it kind of started waning.
They pivoted trying to recapture the younger audience, but all they had to offer that younger audience were those properties. And so
Yeah,
they didn't hold on to that audience that was getting, you're talking about, I was turning like 12 or 13 at that point. They weren't trying to hold on to the 12, 13-year-old audience.
I
And
never, I've never even bought one of the Power of the Force, the original Power of the Force figures that came out after the Jedi figures. I mean,
no,
I have some of
that's
them, but
why they're
I've never
that's
bought
why they're
one.
so valuable, is
Yeah,
because it
because
was a failed
everyone was too
line.
busy buying GI freaking Joe.
It's
Transformers
true.
G1, baby.
There was no more story. Like, there's a time, like, I think the
It's
line
weird. I
was
guess,
called "The Epic Continues," but Kenner pitched an idea to Lucasfilm that they would do a whole new original line of toys
yeah, I read
with its
about that.
whole new storyline. And they had a new, the Adha Prime was the name of the villain, and he was going to be like a clone engineer from the Clone Wars who came back and started to build a clone army and all this craziness. And they were going to come up with, first they were going to come up with like souped up kit bashed, like just reissues of like, because they had like an AT-AT that had some extra parts and guns and things like that. And all of it was just about, we could just kind of tinker with the stuff we already had and re-release that as new. And then we could also come up with new characters and figures and stuff, and that would sort of re-energize, because the kids, and maybe even get a new cartoon series to go along with it, not like Droids kind of stuff, but something that was Star Wars, like a Shadows of the Empire at a time where Shadows of the Empire would have actually worked.
Mm.
Not like, but not 10 years later when everyone was too old to give a shit.
Yeah, I just don't think they were cool anymore at that age.
Well, and that's where Lucasfilm kind of pivoted. They're like, no, we don't want to do that because we do want to get back to Star Wars, but we don't know what we want to do with it yet. So we don't want to create any new canon, which I don't know why, because they don't mind throwing out canon. I don't know why they thought that would poison the well, but they were just like, we'll play this Ewok thing out and see what happens. And it sort of died.
Our viewers probably skew older. I don't know.
I would,
But if you
I would
guys
think
are
so.
younger, like younger than us, and watching, it's probably hard for you to imagine, but there was a time when Star Wars just went away. Like it was gone. There was nothing. You know what I mean?
1986 was that time.
And there
Like
was nothing. Like
until
nothing you could get. Now I'm not talking toys. I'm talking books, comics.
well, they didn't have books.
I
Like
mean
when
everything. There was
when
nothing Star
the first
Wars.
Star Wars novel came out, everyone was super excited because their Star Trek novels just out the roof. Like there was like 5 of those came out a month.
The first Star Trek
But
novel. I mean, Star Wars novels came out while the movie was still on, though. Like,
novels, well, yeah, you're talking about the Han Solo ones. Like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
Blur of the Mind's Eye, the Han Solo trilogy, the Lando Calrissian trilogy. But I guess I should mention those were original novels. But I mean, after that, that was like 1983 was the last of those, and then that all dried up until 91 when they finally like relaunched their
So that's
official
like
expanded
5
universe.
years with nothing.
Yeah, the
And
thing
now,
that kept it going was the role playing game. By 86 there was nothing. And then 87 was when they did the role playing game and everyone got super stoked because it was like part of the 10th anniversary deal. And if you were a Star Wars fan at that age, they were playing exactly to
and
the
that
age
was me
of the
actually.
original
Yeah,
fans. We were
I
like,
bought
"Oh,
that.
we were role playing at that time. We're like, this is the best of both worlds."
Yeah, because
And
I was at that
loved it.
age, the right age, 12 or 13 or something. I got into those.
And not only was it a really good, I liked the game mechanics of it. It was super fun, but they came up with these great source books. Not only did that flesh it out really well for people who wanted to play the game, but it became the source material for the expanded universe when they did start going out. When Timothy Zahn started writing Heir to the Empire and he wanted source material to use, they gave him the source books from the role playing, which was unheard of because with Star Trek, everything that was ancillary to the movies and TV show didn't count at all and could not draw from each other. So two
Hmm.
novels couldn't have any continuity with each other. The
Why?
comic book couldn't reference anything because Roddenberry was really concerned with the level of canon that was out there in these books. He didn't want it to overshadow the canon that they accepted. So he called his stuff with Star Trek fact, and
Yeah, but
those were Star Trek
I
fiction.
could
And he
see
didn't
that.
want there to
But why
be
couldn't
he
the
didn't,
books mingle with each other?
he didn't want them to become competition for him.
Oh, okay.
The books could not even create original characters and stories and maintain them for very long throughout the course of the comic. They
And
didn't
that's
want
why they failed.
anything. Well, hell, man, we're not allowed to do anything with with the main characters, and we're not allowed to have any characters of our own. So yeah, you're not giving us very much room to be interesting. It's like, yeah, we don't want you to be interesting. We want people to buy your crap so we get paid.
Dumb.
But we don't want anybody to like the comics better than they like the movies.
So dumb.
It is
But
dumb because people will anyway if they
we need
choose
to,
to.
it's been a while. We need to do a show and tell. And I'll bring out my role playing books because I have all the original.
I got
You know,
some of those.
I got the
Yeah, if you
source
have all the
books and the
originals,
rule
then you
book.
probably have. I had the Imperial source book, but Virgil pretty much ate it.
Well, I've got that. I've got that. I'm pretty sure I have that.
I
So that'd
do
be
have a.
fun to show.
I got a couple modules. I think that'd be fun to look at. I don't know. I don't think I can put my hands on any of the miniatures. I did. I think have some of the miniatures,
I
but they're
definitely
probably
don't
they're
have
in a
any
box
miniatures,
somewhere.
but
I
that
had the
is cool.
bounty hunter set. That was pretty cool.
I used to build because I ran a game in middle, late, probably eighth grade. I want to say middle school, but I guess it was actually high school. It's kind of embarrassing to think about. But me and my friends played, and I used to build imperial bases like out of cardboard. I'd make I'd get the walls, and I cut the cardboard out to make walls and rooms, and they'd
That's
move the little
cool.
miniatures around, and then they open the door, and I'd put the stormtroopers in there. Like, it was so much fun for me. But looking back now, like I should have been learning karate or something.
I
Should have been
think
learning to play piano.
probably piano maybe, but I don't think karate would have been any more useful to
Karate
you
is
in your adult
incredibly
life.
useful. Are you kidding me?
Every day I wish I knew karate.
Did you not see how Valence knocked a lightsaber out of a Jedi's hand?
Yeah, Shio. That's what
That
he
is
should have
some
said.
straight up karate.
Read the script, duder.
All right, everybody. We've ran our mouths long enough.
Yeah.
We'll
Good
see you
stuff.
soon. Check us out. Like and subscribe, all that
Like and
nonsense.
subscribe, enjoy. Yeah, we'll be putting out some more content a little bit more regularly now.
And we will see you then. Okay. My name's Brooks.
I'm Sean.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.
Snoop.